Hello, beer tubers, and welcome to yet another beer review with me, Peter, the master of hoppets. Today, joined by
Brits.
Avanomyces, doing one of the most hyped beers around at the moment.
Yeah.
On a Wednesday, randomly, because we gotta drink it sometimes, and sometimes popping the beer can be the occasion itself. You don't always have to look for this is.
Yeah.
I'm so stoked about this. I'm really hoping this will live up to my expectations. But this is from Anchorage, and this is none other than their A Deal with the Devil Triple Oaked Barley Wine. It's one of the highest rated barley wines in the world. And this was released on Tavour. It was released in Europe. It actually had a release. It's mainly probably because of COVID that it was released outside of Anchorage, Alaska. But the fact that this has been released around, it's crazy. And it's the same crazy quality as far as I can gather from people who tried it.
Yeah.
And, it's just one of those hype barley wines that everyone wanted to try. So this one was available at Beer, and it was not cheap. It's the most expensive beer I think we've ever bought.
Yeah.
If we talk straight up buying in a web shop, we've traded beer that's in terms of value more
on the regular market.
If we talk regular market money.
Yeah. This is definitely the most expensive beer we bought.
Because it was like $200 a bottle.
Yeah.
And that's non-trading. But it's how much is it going for a trading secondary?
I'm not sure.
Like 500? I don't know.
I have no.
I actually haven't
think
looked
it's
it up.
that much, but
maybe 350.
yeah, it's definitely more. It's secondary than what we paid.
But I'm just hoping it's gonna be worth it. It was gone within like 5 minutes. And
yeah,
I was ready. I got
and
this
vanilla.
Yeah, double oak vanilla, and we got that one too. A little less pricey, but still really pricey. But it was also beer that got both 10 years and in descending and whatnot, and that we got to try, which just blew our socks off. So I'm really stoked about this. I've had A Deal with the Devil before. It was the double oaked, and it was one of the vintage bottles, a 750, 2 years ago at the Mon Petit Café in Stuttgart, and it was amazing. I'd had it prior to that as well, but I do not remember which variant it's been. I think it's just been the regular A Deal with the Devil, not double oak, triple oak, whatever. I don't even think there's this year or last year or whenever they started releasing them is a regular there's like the double oak that's been released recently, and then the triple and the double oak vanilla, right?
Yeah,
I think it's something.
Yeah,
like
I think those are the latest.
It's Gabe is well known for his barley wine. He brewed a lot of hype barley wine when he was at Midnight Sun. If you guys are old money, you remember Midnight Sun M, or you remember Arctic Devil. Those were fantastic beers. But this is Anchorage A Deal with the Devil Triple Oak, which has been aged 10 months in Woodford Reserve barrels, and 7 months in Amalga Distilling whiskey barrels, and 7 months in Elijah Craig barrels. And it's 17% alcohol by volume. It's crazy. But yeah, we just decided to splurge. We really wanted to try it. We said, fuck it.
Yeah.
So we got it. And I'm stoked. And this is not a special number again. It's just like the occasion is popping this bottle.
Yeah.
It's
and we just decided we want to drink this 2 people because we want proper pours.
Yeah. So
we want proper pours of this good of beer. We don't want to split this, 5 people.
I don't want to do a ticking style.
Sip and,
I don't mind, it's like at festivals you get those small pours and whatever, but when you land these beers and stuff, it's fun to share, and I prefer sharing it with friends, but I also want to sip and nurture the beer.
Yeah.
I don't just want like a 5 centiliter, 10 centiliter pour.
It's not just ticking.
No, I also want to drink it.
Yeah, exactly.
But yeah, it looks fantastic. It looks, more classic barley wine-esque, but to the darker side. It's not like completely black, but it's like the darkest of brown. It has crazy legs on the side of the glass. I mean, look at that. Huge alcohol legs. Yeah. The head that you swirl up, it's a bit fizzy, but it's brown. It's understandable for 17%.
Yeah. And these many, 3 barrels.
Yeah, it smells quite bourbon forward from here.
Yeah, it smells big.
Do you want to do this?
Yeah.
Let's do it.
Oh,
wow.
Wow.
Damn.
Fuck, that's just...
Whoa. That is like... it's the biggest onrush of bourbon flavor I think I've ever had in a beer.
Yeah.
It's even... Like, Beer Barrel Time is intense, but not on bourbon flavor. This is crazy.
Yeah. This is like... we talked about Brew 2000 and Paragon and those. This is just like...
It's like those on steroids. Yeah. But it seems like
massive.
It's like all the Anchorage big beers are like everything on steroids.
It's extreme and, So bold, but also very complex.
A touch of like spirity warms and alcohol, 17%. I don't think it's boozy. It's more like spirits.
Just
but
warms.
This beer is also something we could have sat on and it would age crazy. I think, but it smells just nuts. It's like dripping candy bourbon aroma, but also like loads of older kind of barrely vibes, that like really charry woody note,
leather,
like huge molasses, huge. Really like caramelized, dark fruity kind of figgy vibes, like almost like when you cook down like a reduction of brown sugar in a pan and you glaze up like figs or whatever. It's something like that, and then like tobacco and just like that charry wood and almond and there's even hints of coconut and hints of licorice too.
I definitely see that coconut licorice.
So many layers, like fuck.
A bit of umami.
My saliva is just like
and a lot of barrel vanilla.
Yeah, huge vanilla, huge.
It's massive.
It's almost like a hint of like stewed red apple, caramelized stewed red apple.
When you started talking about throwing brown sugar on the pan, I sat and thought stewed red apple.
Almost like the candy apples you get for Christmas in the States, like those like sugar caramel covered apples.
You get these. You can also get them like spiced with like. Spices in them, like caramelized red apples with spices in them. It's like
there's almost like a spice to it, for sure. Like almost like just like I don't know. I don't want to say it's really festive, but it's almost like there's a cinnamon or just a light undertone of a festive vibe. But it's just like wood complexity.
Yeah.
It's not.
It's definitely barrel spice. Maybe one of the barrels has this character.
Yeah, but you do get those kind of characters in bourbon as well, so it's understandable.
Yeah.
It smells so good. Yeah. I really want to drink this. My saliva
this is going to be massive.
My saliva is bleeding in my mouth.
Yeah.
Let's do it. Cheers.
Cheers.
Holy fuck. Holy tit fuck.
Yeah, that is just...
That is
monstrous.
So massive.
And it keeps on.
It is almost as if you did bourbon in a beer form, to be 100% honest.
Bourbon barley wine match.
Holy shit. What an aftertaste.
Yeah. It's still going. I was just about, I was thinking, let's have a sip more. No, it's still going. So
huge, like warming bourbon, like
caramel, and
huge fudgy, man, it really bridges the gap between the spirit and like barley wine.
Yeah,
it's crazy. I don't think I've ever had a beer that's this bourbon and like intense on bourbon flavor.
Nope.
And the heat is not bad in any way, shape, or form.
So
it's pleasant.
It's so big,
soothing in a way.
It's soothing and warming, like in a very comforting kind of way. It's definitely a couch beer, as I say, or in chill in front of the fire beer. Fuck that.
It's like you need a break and then you take another sip and it's the same experience. Like it just goes nuts.
Yeah. But when it just hits the tongue, it's kind of to me it's like licoricey, it's chestnutty, it's a bit of umami,
huge
and then
vanilla.
Massive like vanilla fudge that just goes on, and like barrel vanilla and a bit of that spicy woody complexity.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
It is crazy. But yeah, as you said, totally huge and like impactful, like it caramelized, it's just like chestnutty and just like hazelnut even. Just like a really crazy generic, like in caramel and fudge and a huge vanilla. And then on the same time, I
love that spice component, that kind of...
it sits throughout.
Yeah.
It's like spicy wood.
Yeah.
And it helps combat a lot of the sweetness, because it is a sweet beer. It's a 17% barley wine, but that really disrupts the sweetness.
But right now, like the very end of the finish is just like, it's not sweet anymore. It's just like this slightly tannic, spicy wood thing that just, but it still soothes your palate. It still warms it, even though I don't have any liquid.
No.
In on the tongue or on the palate, it's
like drinking it. I really think that kind of red apple and stewed red apple thing and whatnot. It's not from malts or anything. I think it's from the barrels and like an oxidized thing from the barrels, because it's almost like you can because it's so intense in bourbon, you can almost distinguish what is bourbon flavor in this and what is like you can, but it seems like it's not like a fruity ester or something that's like red. It seems like it's like when you drink. I have a Blanton's Gold sitting in the cabinet at the moment, and it's almost because that's also quite red appley. It's like a bit of that kind of like stewed cooked red apple, but it tastes more like a spirit flavor than it tastes like beer. But it's so intense and it's so complex, and it like really encompasses like so many aspects of flavor in the spectrum of barley wine. Like it's so complex. It's crazy. Like it has, and the thing is like, it has all those kind of like classic English vibes you want with like dark
it's very
fruit
true.
and dates and figs and leather and tobacco, but it has boatloads of American crazy new school flavor with like crazy caramel, crazy fudge, crazy vanilla, crazy like spice even. I mean that's not.
But also just that bold complexity of American beer.
Of course. I don't think you'd ever see
that, but it stays true to what a barley wine, the flavors you get in barley wine, but then mixing it up with like that American bourbon tradition. But
this might be one of the best beers I've ever had.
It's fucking insane.
It's fucking crazy, but it's so extreme. This is one of those beers I think I'll remember forever. I don't know if I'm gonna try it again, but I'll remember it forever. And few beers does that. BBT is one of them that we had in recent times, but otherwise it's something like King Henry if we're talking barley wines, or it's rare, or it's there's quite a few, but Bourbon County Rare, and there's Parabola for the first time. There's a few things in beer where, like, some just goes by the wayside, but some are memories that stick around forever. This right here I'm gonna remember for the rest of my life. In terms
I'll remember because it's the best barley wine I've ever had.
It's the best barley wine I've ever had. I think it's I think it's really hard to compare this to a King Henry, which I just went apeshit over back in the day. And you will never be able to get that specific beer and compare it to, because if you had a bottle of King Henry, it's gonna be crazy oxidized by now. And I remember it as being in a ballpark like this, but I don't think it's nearly this strong and this intense as far as I remember. But it's years ago, so you can't do a fair comparison. But yeah, this is just beer that's in a league of its own, and this is it's an easy 100 beer, I think, and it's one of those like. The more we drink these crazy good beers, you find out like the 100 mark. We're scarce with it, and there's a reason, because it's so rare that beers like this come around, and a lot of people never get to try them. So a lot of people never get to try, some of these crazy things, and not that you should have to try these, but the experience of trying it when you go from having your, a boundary pushed of what do you think is the best of the best to what is probably like God tier, if you could say like that. It's rare it happens, and when it happens, it's just like it's totally mind blowing. I love that experience. That's why I don't mind chasing these and trading and all this, because the experience is just imprinted in there. Like, it's just nuts. It's fucking, man.
It's just something you remember and cherish so much, and
Man, it gets even better as it sits in the glass.
And again, that's slightly. Again, what does it for me is that extra layer of that slightly nutty, chestnutty, hazelnutty, spicy component that just, and it kicks in after like 2, 3, maybe 4 seconds.
Yeah, and it lingers for a while, and I think it's that, along with like just like the spirity flavors, that also the spirit helps like kind of push that character as well. And like it seems also more so that like that spice is a mix of spirit and wood flavor, more so than the base. But yeah, it's hugely fudgy, but not too fudgy, and like it's like it's big and bold and extreme, but it's also the same. Like it's big, bold, and extreme, but it also at the same time has have balance.
Yeah, it has like subtlety and nuance, lots of nuance, but it's so big and bold.
It's a beer to nurture and sip on, but I'm not gonna have any problem sitting with half a bottle myself.
Nope.
It's just so complex. Like it's just one of those beers you sit and contemplate over. Like wow, this is just. It's crazy.
Insane.
But just to sum up a bit on flavors, because it's already a long video, huge caramel fudge town. There's this cool stewed apple, almost like a cinnamony apple thing, caramelized apple flavor. You're getting your dark fruits. Maybe they could be more pronounced with some age, but now it's more like a fresh caramelized kind of fig thing. And there's the huge barrel character of cherry wood and the spiciness, as we talked about. There's the chestnutty, kind of hazelnutty nuttiness. Boatloads of caramel and fudge,
leather and
a little bit of
licorice, but that's mostly
and tobacco as well.
Yeah.
And,
yeah.
Yeah.
But if you
And
should
Charlie
kind of try to break it up in in waves, it's like up front to me, it's a lot of that tobacco, licorice, a bit of umami just when it hits your tongue, and then that fudgy vanilla.
And the fudge and vanilla
just
carries on, and then it transitions a bit to the spice and like barrel and bourbony flavors.
Yeah.
And those are what just like sticks on the palate for a while. And
they
I think
still sit there and soothing and warming.
And I think if you age this a bit, those early nuances that are softer and with all the fruitiness and everything, I think they would be a bit more pronounced with some more oxidation and whatnot. And as the beer gets to sit over time, I think this will definitely improve in the bottle over time. Give it a few years. This could last a long time, I think, in a bottle stored right.
Yes.
Man, it's a bit perplexed finishing this. It's a long video. I hope you guys stuck around, but it's a beer that deserves the time that it took to talk about it, because it's just nuts. Like, it's also really honey-like, actually.
Yeah.
Like dripping kind of honey cream or honeysuckle kind of flavors.
Yeah.
Nut stuff. So yeah, I hope
easy hunnits.
Easy hunnits. Easy.
Yeah.
And if you don't think it's a hunnits, fight us. No.
It's probably only because you don't like barley wine. If you don't
or extreme beers.
Yeah.
Yeah,
but I still think it has a lot of balance and again complexity and nuance to it. It's not just in your face. So yeah, it's fucking insane.
It's awesome. So, yeah. If you guys were lucky enough to get a bottle of Anchorage Brewing Company, a deal with the Devil Triple Oaked, let us know what you thought of it. If you haven't, I would say this is worth trading for. If you do that kind of stuff,
do it.
If not, there's other great beers to try still.
This
is not an end all be all, but it's one of those experiences. If you do this stuff, go get it.
Yeah.
Go get it, because that is dope. I'm really looking forward to just sitting through drinking this now off camera. It's going to be great. So if you guys were lucky enough to try this, let us know what you thought of it. As always, remember to comment, subscribe, check out the Facebook fan page and Twitter and Instagram. Give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it, and ring the bell for future notifications about videos. And sit and contemplate. We're going to sit and contemplate this now and say cheers. And see you guys in another beer review. In the year of most hype beer in...
Yeah.
I don't know.
For a long time.
Yeah, cheers.